My first game, round one of the late summer Swiss. I drew Bill Williams in the pairings, and he is 2200, a former master, or still a grand, not a grandmaster, but a chess master nonetheless. And let's take a look and see how this game goes. Um, these four games I've now started with my new repertoire. I kind of stepped away from playing the English and playing the Dutch and playing the French. I don't play any of those anymore. I got rid of those. And I decided to dive into more fundamental E4, E5 types of structures. So I'm playing more gambit style chess because I was putting in a ton of time on tactics, and I was not seeing that in my games. Um, Reason being, I was playing really super positional openings, and I wasn't getting the tactics, or I was getting much less tactics to be able to progress. So I started playing some more aggressive things, giving up pawns, playing for initiative, and you can kind of see it in this game. I kind of play pretty hard, and it feels pretty good. So let's take a look. All right, so Bill started with c4. I knew he's an English player, and I responded with e5, knight to c3, knight to f6, and he attacks my pawn, and I decide to go for a black lion type of structure from Simon Williams. And you can play this pretty aggressively if you like. So I'm gonna play this pretty well. So I'm excited. I've been studying the black lion some, and Bill knows his stuff, so he obviously attacks the center and goes for a big center. And I play knight b to d7, hanging on to my pawn. So if we trade here, everything should be fine. If he were to come back here, I'm gonna win a knight. So can't do that. So he has to respond, and there we go. We get g3. He's going to fianchetto his bishop on g2 and castle kingside, which is pretty standard. And I'm going to continue with my development, bishop to e7, bishop to g2, castles. So I feel pretty good in the opening so far. We have a few more moves to go, and part of the course that I followed from Simon Williams, the Black Lion course, is that we play for c6 and then queen to c7. Now, I think I probably should have done that first before castling, because then I could have maybe potentially held off castling and played for h6 and g5 really fast, because he's already pushed a pawn, and that gives us kind of a target. But I didn't go for that, and I castled quick and figured king safety was good, and I thought, well, let's just reinforce the center. I can play for d5 and then e4, play for these two squares. And I thought that was a good idea. Bill develops his queen to c2, and I get my rook onto a good square. I'm expecting that the e-file is going to open. If I need to, I can drop my bishop back for more protection of my king side, and I feel pretty good about this. He brought his bishop out, and we traded a few pieces. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So he obviously brought his piece out with the intention of trading off my knight. And I thought, well, I'd really like to make it unbalanced and try to figure out how best to proceed. This is a new opening for me, so it's not something that I'm extremely familiar with, and I don't know a lot of the plans. The only plan that I do know is the h6 g5 plan, but that's not going to work here, because now that plan's already messed up. So I attacked his bishop and I thought, well, if he takes my pawn, I'm going to take his bishop. And that's exactly what happened. And I thought, well, if he just takes, if we get a, let's do a variation, and we get this type of structure, I don't have to take here, but I could also take here. I wouldn't take there because that would actually, once you pause the video for a second and take a look and see it, tell me why that's maybe not good. And we'll add another variation. All right, if you've paused the video and you want to see, some of you might be able to see really quickly that if we do this, we lose a pawn. I'm not opposed to losing pawns. I'd rather not lose pawns against someone that's as high level as Bill, but sometimes initiative is really good. But that's essentially why I wouldn't want to go that way, and I went this way instead, because now we have this, this, and this on this pawn, so now he can't really take. He can take, but he's kind of almost forced to. I misspoke. He's not forced to take, but I can now take and open things up if I'd like. But otherwise, it's just a normal trade for a trade, which is not too bad. We didn't go for that. The other thing that I thought that he might do is if I take his bishop, if I attack his bishop, he might take my pawn. And then we'll get this interesting structure like this. So, and that's exactly what he did. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to take his bishop, and if he takes my knight, I'm going to take back. I have some options here, but what's nice is depending on what option I take, I might get closer to opening up this rook. So I thought that this was good for me, even if I was giving up this pawn. He took, and we took back with the bishop, and now I'm saving the pawn, and I've got this really crazy, interesting structure in front of my king. I thought this was a good idea. I also considered actually, taking with the knight and then letting him have this, but then I thought that's not good because now he's got checkmating or big attacks. Maybe not checkmating because I have this, but yeah, I've kind of stuck. So I really only have this move. For those of you that can't see it, if I take with the knight, let's do the variation just so everybody can see it. We go here. This is under attack, and this is maybe not so good. So this queen's coming in, the knight's coming in, and I have to be a little bit careful. My knight, as long as my knight stays on f6, I'm okay. But now I'm kind of jammed up, and I don't really have much of a plan. I didn't really like the way this looked for me. And if I ever decide that I want to move my knight, now I have all these kind of mate threats. If I did move my knight, he has checkmate. So we have to be very careful. And I thought that this was a better way to go. Plus, I do like that this is pretty imbalanced. This is a really difficult position to evaluate. I think white is probably still a little bit better here. But I'm about to unwind, and my pieces are going to become very active very quickly, which to me is pretty nice, which I can't complain. So I like this position. All right, so we have, he brings his rook, if you don't know really what to do, knights belong on open files, which makes sense. And he's developing a piece and improving a piece that was not doing anything. It's not really doing anything over here on A1, so get it in the middle, and now he's controlling a whole lot more squares. So that makes a lot of sense. And now I struggle with trying to come up with a plan here. I wasn't really sure how best to continue. I knew I still had to get my bishop active and get some things going, but I didn't seem to be as active as I really wanted to be. I'm happy with my play, but I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive in this game. And looking at the game now, I'm not the sequence behind, back here could have been maybe played a little bit differently. Um, maybe I should have just taken the pawn. You know, here's the other option. Here's a variation to take a look at. And, you know, maybe we would get this type of situation. But I don't know. These e4, you know, he didn't play e4, but these e4, e5 structures, or these reverse Sicilian type structures, I am not used to playing against. I'm used to playing them because I am a former English player, but I didn't play with some of the best ideas against the English. I probably should have went for more of a King's Indian defense type of structure, but because I feel like if you play them the right way, they give the English the most amount of pressure and difficulty. And this is kind of like a ready type of structure, or Catalan type of structure. And I'm just unfamiliar with them playing them as black. So this is kind of all new territory for me. So I thought, well, I'm going to develop, you know, my knight to a more active square. And now I've kind of unleashed my bishop out into the mix. I'm attacking that pawn, as you can see, and I've now redefended my d pawn, which before that it was not defended, and this rook could be coming in. So we make a few more improving moves. Now he's really going for this d6 pawn, and I can feel where my structure is kind of not awesome right now, because this d6 pawn is going to cause me a lot of problems. And I start to feel it for the rest of the game. Well, not the rest of the game, but until there's, you know, issues with this d pawn. So I have to alleviate it somehow. But it did become kind of a problem. So I decided to take some pieces off the board and then pin the knight. I thought this was a good idea. You know, he's got these options, and I thought, well, I thought this pin was good. Even if he trades a rook or a knight for a bishop, I can trade back with my queen, and then my queen is going to be fine because I'm protecting my bishop, and I should be okay. And that's exactly what happened. So what I calculated was nice. And now here I think I played a little bit too passively. I just came to protect this pawn, and I can't push it forward because the bishop then comes in and will then fork my rook, so we can't play that. And I thought, well, I thought it might have been better to maybe protect it this way, because now, here's why. Because I moved here, and then his next move was here, and if you can see, he's now attacking here and here, and I have no way to really stop him from gaining another pawn. So I think if I would have just played for this would have been a little bit more, this would have been a little bit better. Okay, let's delete that variation and just play here. And if he now moves to a3, yeah, we're okay. I mean, we're not, I guess it's not amazing, but I think I'm still probably in trouble here. Actually, no, because I can protect it. I can, no. Yeah, I don't know that I like this either. Maybe I could play here and then try to play for d5. Really kind of interesting. I think that solves all my problems, but at least for now, I'm going to come up with other problems, but I feel like we're okay. Because then you know, I have the ability to... This bishop is just so strong. My bishop does have a lot of range, but it's not really attacking anything. It's just controlling some squares. So, really kind of interesting. I'm kind of wondering why my chat stuff does not seem to be working. Can we turn this on? And there we go. Okay. Now it seems to be working. I was like, so I was waiting for like my chat bot to be doing something. Hey, there it goes. It's finally actually doing something. I think my chat bot was all messed up, but it seems to be okay now. Okay, great. Probably why I couldn't see anybody, but okay, so yeah, I feel like this probably would have been a better option than what I played. I played this, which to me is really passive. I feel like I could have been a lot more active, and now he plays this move, and I'm gonna lose a pawn, and now I'm just playing completely passively. I'm just trying to protect and keep all my pawns. I'm not really active at all, and I thought, okay, now it's time to break through. I don't really know what to do besides that, other than to continue to play passively. Perhaps I had something like this to be a little bit more active, and then maybe here to try to force queen trades, but yeah, I'm kind of unsure. I thought activity was going to be better. So he took, and then I played here. He doubled up, I doubled up, and he offered up a queen trade. And for me, if we take a look at the position the way it is right now, I feel like this is a tough spot for black because white has 7 pawns and black only has 6. I can take that pawn on d5 and we can trade, so we can do something like this. We can leave the queens there for a second, but we can get something like this. And, you know, I can push this here. And if we take a look, this is most certainly losing for black. You know, 5 pawns against 6, same colored bishops. There's no way I think I can win this endgame. This is just not good for black. So taking the pawn is probably not a good idea. So I thought, well, I think I need to keep the queens on the board and allow him to take this pawn, and we'll do some trades and I'll see where we lie. After mass changes with the rooks, I thought, oh, I can just take the pawn, he can take my pawn, and then I'm still down 2 pawns. But I thought, well, you know what? I need to be aggressive. I have mate threats. So I'm going to threaten checkmate. He's going to have to figure out how to stop that. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be active, I'm going to try to threaten as many problems and throw up the most annoying moves possible. Which to me right now, here's some. I just saw it. I didn't see this during the game, but Bill could have forced. Probably this is a win. I think black is losing right here because of this. So here's check. New variation. I have to move up, and he can force a queen trade right away. I can't stop it, so I don't even know what I can do here other than maybe take the pawn. I guess it's not losing, but Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is losing. Even I think this is the best play here. Actually, no, wait a second. We have this move, which I did not see. Um, New main line. No, okay, let's delete you. Delete variation. Bishop f5. Okay, now what do we do? Yeah. This gets messy fast. Wow. Okay, so I did not see that coming back. I thought that I maybe almost forcing, and then he gets to queen a pawn, and I wouldn't be able to stop it. But it seems as though I can. That's an interesting line. But he, I threatened checkmate, and he stopped it, offering another queen trade because that's most likely winning for white. So I thought, well, if he does something with my pawn, I'm going to come here and threaten more checkmates, which will be harder to stop because now I have more than one checkmate. And he still goes after my queen. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I can try to force a draw or something here, but I'm gonna continue to threaten checkmates. And he was smart. He blocked it with his bishop. I finally took the pawn, and now he traded. And here I'm threatening two checkmates. And I thought, oh, well, I missed this because I was like, well, I'm going to threaten checkmate. I don't think he can keep checking me because I think as long as I can get to the h6 square, I think maybe I'm okay. Or I still always have g6. But I missed this move. I didn't see this move during the game, and I thought, oh no, my game is over. I mean, it was highly likely that I was going to lose to Bill anyways because he's 700, almost 700 points higher than me. But I saw this move. After he played here, I saw f5 and thought, oh, I can get the pawn back, or I can get the bishop back. He's going to get my bishop with this fork. Yep, and he does. And he takes my bishop and I take his bishop, and now he gets this other pawn. And I get his pawn, and now we've got this weird structure with lots of checks. This queen and king endgame. 3 pawns against 5. This is probably lost for black. With really great play. But from back here, I saw... Actually, when I saw this, I thought for a while. I thought, oh, he's going to put check here. He's going to go here. I'm going to take his pawn. And then I'm pretty sure that he's going to play a8 and try to pick up my a pawn. And if he picks up my a pawn after I take his b pawn, I feel I have a draw. And that's exactly what happened. Because now I get all the checks. As long as I stay on the white squares and his queen is on a dark square, I can continuously keep checking his king, and he can't stop it. And that's kind of what happened here. I played queen to e4, and I actually offered a draw because I saw it, and I didn't think he could stop it from happening. So he came back. We shuffled around a little bit, pushed him forward, and I pushed him back again and came here, and he played f3. And then I played queen to c2. And there was a checkmate or something here he had to be careful of. I can't remember where it was. I saw something here. There was a checkmate if he tries to move forward, but I don't remember exactly where it was. Yeah. But yeah, here he agreed to a draw at this point, and I was able to pick up the draw. I'm pretty happy with this game. It was probably one of the. It was not the best game I played. It's certainly the highest rated person that I've gotten the best result against. But yeah, Bill's a really good player, and this was a tough game. So thanks for watching, everyone. We will take a look at the next game. You can check that out in the next episode.